So I welcome everybody, staff, students, parents, relatives, to the Degree Show 2012. Our annual Degree Show is the pinnacle of what we do at Dundee. Our primary ambition here is to educate you as skilled, principled, innovative architects. It's an increasingly complex and diverse profession out there. You're going out into quite difficult circumstances, and I think at Dundee we give you a little bit of an edge in terms of particularly the final year that we offer and the research that we allow you to do, and I think we can see some of that work tonight. The work that you will see showcases third, fourth and fifth year of the undergraduate and postgraduate curriculum. Now you'll see that on the east side of the building, years 3 and 4, so that's over to my right. You'll see designs for cultural buildings in Dundee, Edinburgh and Glasgow, illustrated by models, drawings and three-dimensional interiors, which this year the external examiners thought were marvellous. They made particular comment on that. One examiner from the Bartlett said that they never get beyond the building as object, and she was really pleased to see that we were actually investigating rooms, spaces, and the material quality of the buildings. They had some real atmosphere, actually. It's the best I've seen this year, so thank you for that. The final fifth year is what I suppose we would call a liberated postgraduate year. That's on the west side of the building, and you see a variety of studios that extend from the very sort of south end of this building right through to the north end and round the corner to the best studio of all, which is the Urban Studio. And in this year we encourage personal inquiry and push you to test the limits of what might constitute architectural ideas in thought, practice, and research, really. It's really a research year. It's designed to get you thinking as independent individuals, going into a profession where you can take with you something of yourself to the office that you're applying to. Or if you want to continue in an academic career, that's something that you have an option of doing also. So this relationship between teaching and research is something that we're committed to. And I think this year, for the first time, it's been recognised by the university with Dr. Neil Burford and Joe Thurrott winning the university's Excellence in Teaching Prize for the Micro-Macro Live Project Studio. They've won that against every other discipline in the university, and I'd like you to join me in congratulating them. The research themes that you have investigated this year include certain curious things. We've got some revisionist ideas about incarceration and strict punishment. Mistress Greer will see you now. Energy autonomy at small, studio and industrial scale. Touch the earth lightly, or not, depending on how you view the scale of the models and the thickness of the timber that's been employed to make the little building in Botanic Gardens. The relationship between the body, clothing and architecture. Warning, this one involves nudity, so if you're easily offended, you better stay away. If you want to check whether you might be easily offended, then the images can be found in the first southwest corridor in the studio. There's about 50 panels, and I think it's the first one on the left-hand side. Not that I've been studying. Other themes that you've looked at include modes of collaborative practice, the paper gentleman, a practice I predict folding pretty quickly. How can we imaginatively adapt and reuse our heritage? Taught by Neil Vero, who, it turns out, taught one of this year's distinguished external examiners, I discovered. I asked her, for it was a she, if she remembered anything that Neil had taught her. And she said yes. He taught me how to belch and say bollocks at the same time. Luckily for us, that's not what our examiners thought of your work. And I commend you for giving these research themes structure and form in surprising and elegant ways. Of course, you didn't do it all yourself. And I'd like to thank all my colleagues, studio and support staff, whose dedication to you is unswerving. I think I need to say a particular thank you actually to Lyle, if he's around, because he has actually done and is going to do a magnificent job over the next few days in clearing all the rubbish that you guys seem to generate and supply. Other staff I'd wish to congratulate in absentia, unfortunately, he's been a bit unwell but is on the mend, is Michael Spence, who was granted an honorary professorship by the university, which we're delighted about. I'd like to welcome to his first degree show Gary Adam, who's a new member of staff with us, who's replaced Brian Henderson, who you'll remember retired after the last degree show. So welcome, Gary, if you're around. And soon I hope to welcome distinguished architect Felix Klaus as a visiting professor. Some of you may remember and have been reviewed by Felix from the Practice Klaus in Cannes, a world-class operation, and we're really pleased that Felix is interested in coming and working with us over the next few years. I'd also like to thank in absentia, because I know that Richie's probably YouTubing this the minute I stop speaking. A group of alumni from 1982, led by Alan Murray, who are a sort of 30-year anniversary they're having, and they're coming to the school next Saturday to look at all your work and to see that we're still upholding the standard, I think, if not bettering it. And they are set to give architecture a significant bequest, actually, when they visit us, a significant sum of money, which will actually allow us to sponsor in perpetuity somebody to start perhaps some postgraduate work once they graduate. So we're very grateful to them for that. So finally, the reason we're here tonight is to celebrate success, your success. And I would say, personally, for me, that's not simply the best students. The prizes don't automatically go to all A students. For me, I'm personally interested in students who are nearly there. Students who are not quite at A's yet, but who are showing that capability. And I think sometimes an award to a student like that can mean a lot and can actually propel them on to better things. And let's face it, we've all been there. So that recognition is important, I think. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to give yourselves a massive round of applause for the work you've produced this year. Go ahead.